Hi all. So I am taking a course that I've mentioned before. It's called Mastering Raw Food Nutrition, and it's put on by the nutritionists who were the nutritionists at Living Light Academy, which is where basically all of the amazing raw food chefs came out of, or a lot of them. And they are putting on this course that I was so excited to find. I've done a lot of nutrition education in the past. But this goes really deeply, very specifically into the nutrition of raw foods. So I am loving it, loving it, loving it. Even though I graduated from IIN, which is the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, I did a health coaching certification course through David Wolf, specifically on raw foods. This course is really getting to the real numbers, chemistry, science behind raw food, which has not been one of my strong areas. Basically, I learned enough about it early on to know that I didn't have to worry about it, that I could easily meet all of my nutritional requirements and beyond, and be super healthy eating raw food. And beyond that, I was like, okay, chemistry, numbers, whatever, because it's not my strength. But I came to a certain kind of point in my journey, and I started doing some consulting work again with people, and I really wanted to just shore up on the science and also be aware of the new science that's happening, and anything that I could be aware of around raw food. So I started taking this course, and I think we are about 10 weeks into it, and it's super fascinating. I'm so glad I took it. So if you're interested, it's Dr. Rick and Karin Dina, and they are fantastic. And if you like the science stuff, they're always calling it like the nerdy part of it, then you'll be overjoyed because it's so fun. So I thought I would just start sharing little changes that I'm actually making in the way I eat, even after eating 12 years of raw vegan and having already so much nutritional education background. Some things that I'm learning in this course are actually inspiring me to make tweaks in my diet. So I thought that I would share those with you and the reasons why that I'm doing those. And today I wanted to share a little about omega-3, or the essential fatty acids in general. So I've had a journey with this and kind of came to the conclusions that I was not getting enough omega-3. I just kind of did my own research and looking at some of the nutritional aspects from some of the other coursework that I did, I thought maybe I'm just not getting enough of this. So I had been supplementing, and I've recommended this too to other people, with a 369 oil, and I've done that for years. And taking this course, I stopped doing that, which is so nice on so many levels. One of which is that it's really expensive. Second of which is it's a very unstable oil, so it gets rancid really quickly and would almost always go rancid before I could finish the bottle. So, and it's a pain, and drinking oil, I don't know, not my favorite. And also, I just started learning more and more about the balance, and in general, we get way over the amount of omega-6 that we need. We tend to be very low on omega-3, particularly with the Western American diet. And 9, I was getting enough of in my diet. So really out of those 3 that I was getting all the time in that oil, I really only needed maybe some more of the 3. So I'll tell you a little bit of what I learned to change my ideas around that and inform me enough that I realized I don't need to be spending that money. It's like $20 a bottle, $40 if you buy the big bottle. I didn't need to be doing that. My body didn't need that. And so I just stopped. So essential fatty acids and fats in general is a very involved, in-depth study in itself, right? But just to simplify it, there are essential fatty acids. And what that means is that there are acids, essential fats in our bodies that our bodies need that they cannot produce themselves. So, and there are only two of them. One is an omega-6 and one is an omega-3. The omega-3 is ALA and the omega-6 is LA. So I'm just gonna try to keep it somewhat simple. So, and most people have a little bit of an understanding of this, right? So those are the two essential fatty acids that we need, and they are needed for smooth skin, for fatigue recovery, for energy production. I have a whole list here: oxygen transfer, hemoglobin production, immune function is a big one. Hormone regulation is a huge one and was for me. And also inflammation. So if you eat too many omega-6s, which the vast majority of us do, it's very easy to get omega-6. And that is pro-inflammatory. So that's going to cause or exacerbate inflammation in the body, which is actually a foundation for all of the major killers. So heart disease, stroke, you can just go down the line, and inflammation is really under there, one of the root causes. So we don't want to be getting too much omega-6. And exacerbating that, we get too little omega-3, and omega-3 is actually anti-inflammatory. So it can help buffer any inflammation that's already there in the body, and help to get rid of that. So I thought I would show you not only that I stopped using the oil and why, but also some ways that you can supplement omega-3 in your diet and do it really inexpensively and easily. So first of all, let's talk about leafy greens. So leafy greens are about 10% fat, 60 to 70% of that fat is actually omega-3. So if you eat 150 to 300 calories, which is about two medium heads of lettuce, you're going to be getting about a gram of ALA or of omega-3. The recommended dose is, or the recommended amount is actually, let me make sure I get this right. For ALA, for omega-3 is 2 grams per day. For omega-6, LA is 3 grams per day. We don't really need to worry about omega-6 because it's so easily gotten from fruits and vegetables. So if you're eating a couple of heads of this a day, you are getting about a gram of omega-3. So we're basically going to be just talking about omega-3, right? This seems like a lot, but you could easily eat this in a salad. I easily eat this every day, and it depends on the green, but all leafy greens are great with omega-3. So, and alternating them is great. Getting a variety, because you're getting a variety of all the nutrients that are present in the food. You're not just getting the fat, right? So I put one of these in my smoothie every day, this amount of leafy greens. So I'm getting probably half a gram from that. Then if you look at non-leafy greens, green vegetables and fruits, I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing here. They're about 5% of their calories are from omega-3 fats. So the leafy parts of the plant have most of the fats, but if you eat fruits and vegetables, you're also getting some omega-3 from there as well. So about 1,000 calories from fruit and non-leafy vegetables is about 1 gram of omega-3. So with your 2 gram requirement, if you're just eating a couple of these a day, maybe you're eating a salad and maybe you're putting one of these in your smoothie, and then you're eating, you can look up Chronometer is one that my instructors recommend looking up your food values in. So if you can do that and want to look at exactly how much omega-3 is in each food, I believe it will tell you there. So you can see you can probably fairly easily get your 2 grams a day from, if you're eating just primarily fruits and vegetables and especially leafy greens. But some days and some weeks, I'm eating less of those than I want to, and I want to make sure that I have enough. I also want to make sure that my daughter has enough. She has a developing system, a developing brain. This is also really important if you're pregnant. So 2 things that I use almost daily now are flax seeds and chia seeds. So the omega-3 oil that I was getting was a flaxseed oil. So it makes sense that actually using the whole food, and I actually get the whole seeds because this does go rancid very quickly. So if you grind it up, there's a lot more surface area and a lot more ability for oxidation to occur and for rancidity to happen. So in flax seeds, about 70% of the calories are from omega-3 fatty acids. So, and that's about 50 calories. So that's not a lot of calories you're adding for a lot of omega-3. So to put that into more understandable terms, 1 tablespoon is about 2 grams. 1 tablespoon is about 2 grams of omega-3 ALA. So I just put this in some of the things that I eat every day, particularly a smoothie, so that I really know that I'm getting enough. The other thing that I'll sometimes use, and I'll kind of switch them out because they have different nutritional profiles, is chia seed. So 55% of the calories in chia come from omega-3. 1 tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon, again, is about 2 grams of omega-3, and this is about 60 calories. So again, you're not adding a ton of calories, but you really are getting really good sources of omega-3, and you're not just getting an oil. So when they extract the oil to get the omega-3, you're just getting the oil. It's like any other oil. It's 4,000 calories a pound, and you are not getting all of the nutritional profile that you're getting with the whole food. It's always better to eat the whole food. So I love that I have switched out using a processed oil, saving a lot of money, and started really relying on whole foods. So this I do just about every day, in addition to the omega-3 that I'm getting from all the fruits and vegetables that I'm eating, especially from the leafy greens. So I made a list of just a few things that I started adding: the chia and the flax. Primarily I use flax because it just is a little bit higher in the percentage of fat it gets from the omega-3. So here are some foods that I now make all the time with flaxseed. Smoothies. So like I said, in addition to those leafy greens that I'm also getting a good amount of omega-3, I'm also adding, what I do is I add 4 tablespoons of flaxseed to my smoothies now. So that is about 8 grams of omega-3 fatty acid. But I eat that over 2 days. So I'm actually getting double what I need. I probably don't need to be doing so much just from that, not including all of the other fruits and vegetables. So smoothies, and note to self, I can do a little bit less on there. So I make Brussels sprouts. These are so yummy. I love them. They're a little bit time intensive with the prep. But what I do is I clean off the outer leaves, take the outer leaves off, cut off the brown part of the stem, cut them in half, and then I make a coating for them, and with one of the main ingredients, like a breading, being flaxseed. And what I do is I put it in the Vitamix and basically make a powder, make a flour out of it, and then I'll add spices and herbs to that. and sometimes also a little bit of like namashoyu, something like that, coconut aminos. And then I bread it and put it in the dehydrator until it's really chewy, and it is delicious. It's so good. So that's another one. Pancakes, I make not for myself, but I make Vivian. She just kind of has a limited number of things that she wants to eat a lot, and I think this is so typical of toddlers and also like slightly older children. She's 4 now. But she loves the pancakes that I make her. And I originally got this pancake recipe from Emily Norris, who is kind of a mommy vlogger who I just kind of fell in love with. And the recipe that she gives is not vegan, but I just made it vegan. And I make these for Vivi several times a week. So I know that she's getting really good omega-3. So the pancakes are banana, almond butter, or whatever kind of nut or seed butter you want to use. And then Emily Norris uses an egg. I use a combination of flax oil, flax seed, ground flax seed, a little bit of freshly made nut or seed milk, and some psyllium husk. So the flax and the psyllium really bind it together, and then I make these little patties and then cook them for her. So not raw, she's not 100% raw, but I know that she's getting enough of that omega-3 with the ground flax that I'm using in her pancakes. I also try to sneak it in and get her to drink my smoothies, but she's not really always excited about that. So at least I know she's getting them from these pancakes because they're one of her like favorite food of all time. Another thing you can easily sneak your flax or chia into, and also greens. I will put leafy greens in this also when I make a dressing for my salad. So it seems a little weird that you might be eating lettuce like blended up on top of lettuce, but it's delicious. You know, I just kind of throw things together in the Vitamix. So I might put some greens, like I said, some flax seed. I might also put some chia in there. Hemp is good, although the omega-3/6 ratio is much heavier on the omega-6. So I try not to do just a ton of that, but the nutrient profile is really nice for hemp seeds, so I don't shy away from them. I just want to make sure that I'm getting the omega-3 I need and not too much 6. So that's why I go a little bit light on that. But really, I stopped using a lot of oil in my dressings. So I will sometimes make a dressing of, like I said, some greens, blend it up with some water, some herbs and spices, some flaxseed. You don't have to grind it because you're already putting in the Vitamix and it's going to grind it. And then sort of whatever I feel like putting in, sometimes a jalapeno, sometimes lemon, any kind of number of things that sort of occur to me in the moment or I have lying around the house, I'll make a dressing out of. And that's just another super easy way to sneak in some omega-3. And then another one, I'm working on making this in a concoction that Vivi will eat, because she hasn't been really excited about this either. I love them. And that is homemade bars. So you could call them protein bars because they're also really good source of protein. But in my protein bars, I will mix in some ground flax. I will use different kinds of primarily seeds, but sometimes nuts also. There's a whole range of things, and I give my recipe in my book, I Heart Raw. So if you're interested in some of these, you can use them and also just add in flax, because this is something like I'm learning, because back then I was still supplementing with the oil, so I wasn't really so much concerned about it. But I'm really learning that getting it from Whole Foods is always better. And it's so easy actually to get enough. And that's really true with every nutrient. You can easily get enough of it on the raw food diet. But if you're aware of these areas like omega-3s that we tend to be lower on, we can, in an educated way, start kind of eating more of those and less of the sixes, and be even more healthy. So I hope that was helpful. Those are just some ways that I use to sneak it in. And thanks for being here. Have a wonderful day.